So there you go. And there were pictures that made Newzjunky and around the world of our good friend Brittnnee. She's the waitress over at the Tilted Kilt, is it? And she was the one who, again this year, jumped in the polar bear dip up in Alex Bay, and was a big hit up there. She's a rather attractive woman. But so those pictures are on Newzjunky as well. Although I had to notice, and maybe it's something, it's not a serious issue, but I did write something on the blog about it today, and that's his tattoos. Now, Brittnnee was there doing the polar bear dip, and most people look at her as being, you know, very, very attractive, well-proportioned woman, but she got all these tattoos on, a lot more ink than she had last year even. And maybe it's a call for attention or something like that. I don't know. But, and you see so many of these young ladies with butt caps on. The ones used to be called tramp stamps, but now they're called butt caps, right above the, right at the small of the back there, and so many other tattoos. In fact, 1 in 4 adults now, aged 18 to 50, has a tattoo. And it's not, it used to be just carnies and sailors had tattoos. That's not the case anymore. But I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't have kids, but boy, I'll tell you something. It's got to be, like, tough when your 17-year-old daughter comes home with a butt cap. And, you know, you realize it's there for life and all of that stuff. Maybe it's no big deal. Maybe I'm like old school on it. You know, there he goes again, pining about the old days and all of that stuff. But I just don't think they're, I'm not trying to ruin the tattoo industry. To each their own. But I'm not a big fan of them. There is some of it that's extraordinarily good work. A lot of it that isn't. And actually some of the really, you know, the good work, the whole sleeves they do and everything is interesting to look at. But generally speaking, I don't know. It's kind of like branding a cow or something. 755-1240 is the phone. You got to be quick here.
Hi, I'm Brittnnee.
Hey, Brittnnee, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Now, you're from Watertown, right?
Yes, I am.
And you work at the Tilted Kilt?
I do.
Okay, great. And you're the woman who, for the last 2 years, has been in the polar bear dip up in Alex Bay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, anyway, well, we shamelessly used your publicity to try to generate talk on the show today, and I guess it's worked. But so tell us about tattoos. How many tattoos you have?
I have 16 tattoos.
Wow. Now, where'd you get all those done?
All over. I used to live in Florida. I got some in Pennsylvania, some in New York.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
20. You're not even old enough to have a beer yet.
Not legally.
Well, you're old enough to have. You've had a beer, I take it, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. Like liquor, too? Jack Daniels, any of that?
I'm a Crown Royal girl.
Crown Royal, good, good. And, well, we won't ask any more questions there, but obviously in that age group, do you agree with our other caller that 18 should be like the age of majority and that for everything? In other words...
Yeah, I would say so. I would say if you can go 18 and go to Iraq and Afghanistan and incite your country, you should be able to come back and have a beer.
Yeah. Because this...
also, people are immature and they abuse it as well, so...
18, 19, and 20-year-olds drink beer all the time, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Where do they usually do it? Private parties and things like that?
Yeah, home, private parties. And even people don't even ID when you go out. I could go out to a bar right now and wouldn't even get ID'd.
Well, that's because you're famous. I mean, you're like a... You know, you're like a Lindsay Lohan or somebody coming into a place. The crowd just parts.
Lindsay Lohan? I'm not a drug actor.
Well, no, I didn't suggest that. I was just saying in relative terms. I was trying to think of someone from the Hollywood scene who's famous. So anyway, why did you get all these tattoos? I know some of them maybe have some personal significance to things in your life, but aren't you worried about, you know, what they look like and so on, and sort of tarnishing an otherwise beautiful body and all that?
I think my tattoos are beautiful. I think they make me and who I am, and
sure.
A lot of them have meaning. I lost a nephew about a year and a half ago, and I have a tribute to him down my side, and I have my other nephew's name on my back. And
now, what's that? You have writing on your leg, right?
Yes, it's a Marilyn Monroe quote.
It's a what?
It's a Marilyn Monroe quote.
Oh, a quote. What's the quote?
It says, "Beneath the makeup and behind the smile, I'm just a girl who wishes for the world."
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Now, you don't have any big flowery, colorful tattoos? It's just strictly text and things like that?
Yeah, I like black ink. I don't really like color, and it's pretty much just all text and words.
Yeah. Huh. So, who was that girl who was going out with Sandra Bullock's husband there?
Oh, Kat Von D.
Yeah, she had all the tattoos. You going to try to get up to that level?
I want to have a lot more tattoos. I don't want to go on my face or my chest or anything like that. Because I think some tattoos make you look very masculine.
Right.
I don't want to look that way, but I would definitely want to get a lot more. But I would never get any on my chest or like on my arms or anything like that. Now,
has all the publicity you've gotten over these polar bear dips, how's it affected your life?
It's affected my life good and bad. I mean, I've gotten actually a lot of jobs out of it, a lot of like promotional events I got to do, some modeling, and then you always have like the haters. The women,
yeah, you always got the haters out there.
The women who are going to be jealous and say mean things about you, and I just laugh it off.
So you grew up in Watertown?
Brownville, that's General Brown.
Brownville?
Yeah.
Wow, so you went to General Brown High School?
Yeah.
Were you popular in high school?
No, actually, not at all. I wasn't popular at all, and I think a lot of boys eat their words now.
Well, yeah, you obviously are very popular now. Now, are you going to do the polar bear dip next year?
Yes, I am next year.
Now, do they pay you to do that? Because they should pay you.
No, not at all. They don't pay me at all. It goes, all the money you raise goes to the hospital, and I think this year, we had a lot more people who actually came because people knew I was going to be there. So I think I bring people to bring their money.
Well, that's a great idea. Now, you also work at the Tilted Kilt?
Yes.
So you're like a table waitress or bartender or what?
I am a waitress because you have to be 21 to serve there. So
oh, okay.
Part-time.
Yeah. Well, when's your 21st birthday?
September 4th.
Okay. So I could buy you a drink then, but not now.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've got to, play it on the straight and narrow there. So, well, that'd be great. I mean, so how are things going at the Tilted Kilt?
Things are great. It was military payday last night, so it should be good tonight.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Well, we're all hoping for that in the business there. And on September 4th, we hope you'll come over to Pearl Street.
Yeah.
And visit us at Fort Pearl Tavern, okay?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And what nights do you work at the Kilt?
I work every night except Tuesdays and Sundays.
Tuesdays and Sundays. What time normally?
I usually come in around 4 o'clock, and I'm there all night.
4, okay. So, obviously, given your schedule out there, I don't mean to pry into your personal life, but I'm sure you'll be flooded with business tonight because people will want to meet you.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, and I assume you do well on tips.
I did very well.
Yeah, okay. All right, that sounds good. Well, Brittnnee, thank you again for calling in and clearing all of this up for us.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good day. Bye now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's Brittnnee. Nice young lady, really. General Brown grad. Come on, General Brown, yeah. That's where Savannah Sampson went to school. Good afternoon, Hotline.
Next time you get around, ask what size those cans.
All right, we're back. I was told during the break, and I forgot to mention on the issue of prominent General Brown grad, City Councilwoman Roxanne Burns is also a graduate of General Brown Central. Good afternoon, Hotline.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm with you on the tattoos. It's just such a thing. You see a nice, pretty girl, and here she is with a tattoo on her leg or something. And it's just terrible. But I guess to each their own.
Yeah, it's the way it is these days,
As far as the 18, I have mixed feelings on that because I know what I was like at 18. we don't. It's pretty.
Well, I think the argument in favor of it is that if you're going to be an adult in many senses, and you can get married and buy cigarettes and go in the army, you can do all these things at 18, then you really should be able to socialize as an adult. And I find that in a prohibition mentality, the people who are 19 or 20 act like 16-year-olds used to.
Yeah. Well, and again, that's why I have mixed feelings.
And as Brittnnee said, I'm a Crown Royal girl. Well, what's that tell you? She's 20 years old. She's a Crown Royal girl.
Yeah. and like you say, if you're old enough to go fight for your country, you know, you ought to be old enough to go in and buy a beer if you want. But as I say, I have mixed feelings because, you know, I know what I was like at 8.
Well, we all were...
yeah. You make some pretty stupid decisions.
Well,
you know,
a lot of people make stupid decisions at 40 or 50, and...
oh, yeah, you're right there. You're right there.
My inclination is that we'd be better off. It's confusing, and I'll tell you why I think it's confusing, sir, is that, you know, people aren't stupid. I mean, they sit there and they say, well, I can buy these cancer sticks at 18, and that's legal and okay, and there's sin taxes on them, and the government makes money, but they say they're bad for you. But I can't have a Budweiser, but I can have consensual sex at 17, and I can drive a car at a certain age, but I can't have other 17-year-olds in the car. And there's all sorts of conflicting messages. And either something's right or it's wrong, and you set a line in the sand and say this is the age, and that's the argument in favor of a universal age of majority. And listen, I've talked to senior members of the police community here who feel the same way, but they don't dare say that in public because they'll be ostracized by the social agencies.
You're 100% right. It should be across the board at a certain age instead of something for this and that.
I call it 25.
It's political. You know what it is. It's all political. It's all... they just...
Well, it's oftentimes a reaction to a tragedy, as are so many laws we have these days, where you know, if something happens to...
as my dad used to say, they lock the barn door after the horse gets out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I got electrocuted in the studio today, maybe they'd have a Jeffries law or something about radio station safety or something. I could probably get Addie Russell to sponsor it in the assembly. But yeah,
nice
definitely.
Talking. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. 755-1240, and I'll be back with more in a moment.